Why do Americans think that their lives are more important than the lives of Kenyans?
I want to tell President Ruto, don't do business with Kenyans.
Yet the same facility is going to host people who are endangering my own life.
I think it's not good for the Kenyans people.
I've actually been in shock. Then the United States of America have said, look for some country somewhere where we can take these people because we don't want them in our own.
Why do Americans think that their lives are so much important than the lives of Kenyans?
So the US has decided to set up an Ebola quarantine center in Kenya for Americans who got exposed in Congo. But hawawezi wachukua wapeleke kwao. Of course, Wakenya wamejam, ni ngori, ni mbaya. Who will it be? Let's see why.
Why would you create a facility within my country and it doesn't serve me? Yet the same facility is going to host people who are endangering my own life. Yet if I end up contacting Ebola, God forbid, I can't be taken care of. Furthermore, the Kenyan system, I'm not so sure if they have their own system or facility to actually help me out.
She makes a very strong argument. I get her point. She doesn't have faith in the Kenyan health system. Who does?
Why do Americans think that their lives are so much important than the lives of Kenyans, so that they establish a facility in Kenya that is meant for only Americans? If they must be allowed to open that facility here, then it must be a facility that serves every human being in Kenya.
So better we just avoid, and if the US is better at handling this, they have a huge country called America. They can take one of those states that nobody is there. Go quarantine your people there, so if they're sick, you'll also treat them there.
Yeah, I agree with Haji. Despite the US having a big country, they also have the resources too. I've done my research. Kuna lands very vast of unoccupied lands. Places zingine lazima uende na ndege ndio uzi access. Take your people there.
I don't understand why they should bring them to another country, quarantine them, then take them to another country.
But the government also says we've tested more than 50,000 people. They say that they are ready for this, and it is a show of confidence if a first world can ask you to help.
Trevor, we cannot be misused, Bana.
Yeah, we cannot be misused. It's a show of confidence. I don't know if Trevor is trying to be humorous here or he's trying to be... I don't know what he's trying to do. Sijui anajaribu na hii statement. So Kenyans have to accept Ebola into their borders as a show of confidence. Imagine mse yako sawa, well at handling something. He has the resources, he has the muscle, he has the everything. Anakuambia, we fanya hivi. As a show of confidence, take the hit for me. So that nione uko confident.
Our infrastructure, our resources are not even enough for us as Kenyans. You understand? How do we now start going and doing international things? Well, even our country itself, we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we do have a lot of work to do. Kenyan health system needs a lot of work. No wonder no Kenyan has faith in the health system. We have seen numerous doctor strikes across the country. Kenya has shortage of doctors, shortage of nurses, shortage of medical equipment. So many counties in a struggle. They are really struggling with the health system. And then unajaribu convince wase.
You understand? People are hungry, like she mentioned. I'm speaking to people on the ground. People need empowerment. People need other things that can make, medical care, the necessities. And yet we're trying to burden ourselves with risks that will not help us. I know that we want to do favors and everything, but we should choose which favors we can do. As a leader, you should stand up and say, I'm so sorry, not for my people, because you should love your people.
Yeah. Very true. There are some favors, even me and you, if you are friends, I'll tell you, hey, my friend, I'm sorry about that one. This is a very high risk favor. There has never been an Ebola outbreak in Kenya. The Ebola is being transported from Congo into the Kenyan borders purposely. I get why Kenyans are angry. VHK, vunja hiyo kitu, ni mbaya.
I have not spoken to that matter because I've actually been in shock. When I heard about it, I actually thought it is fake news. I thought it's AI.
Hey, Riggy G. Hey, this guy is full of humor.
until my son, who is a medical doctor, Dr. Keith, came to see me yesterday morning and told me it is true. The United States government has said their citizens having Ebola should not step into their land because of the danger of any possible mishandling that can wipe the entire population of the United States of America. Then the United States of America have said, look for some country somewhere where we can take these people because we don't want them in our own.
It's the look for some country somewhere for me. Hey, umsena humor.
Who unto us that the country has been identified
Tumeipata.
as to where people with Ebola can be taken for quarantine, so that if something goes wrong, it doesn't go wrong in the United States, it is Kenya. We want to say this is wrong. We have nothing against the United States, but we are also a responsible country. If the US is saying this Ebola thing is so serious, we don't want our own citizens brought here because of the danger of any spread. It cannot be that Kenya, we are so good, we are so magnanimous, that we are willing to take the risk the United States is not willing to take.
Imagine US na hizo resources zote wako nazo na hawezi kubali Ebola ingie kwa nchi yao. Secretary of State Marco Rubio alisikia hiyo story akasema VHK vunja hiyo kitu, awali kataa.
Something else that I know is concerning people because it's on the news is Ebola. Our number one obligation, we're involved in foreign policy, but even our foreign policy, the number one priority of our foreign policy is to protect the American people. We cannot and will not allow any cases of Ebola to enter the United States. And so the State Department and other agencies represented here, the Centers for Disease.
The key words, we cannot and will not. Yani asha set standard, vunja hiyo kitu, hatutakubali.
Disease control, HHS, others are working very, very hard to contain this crisis to the countries where it's currently located, particularly the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And so we've surged assistance to make sure that is being contained there. And obviously, multiple agencies involved here are also very involved in tracking people just to make sure that nobody comes into this country that has Ebola and creates a problem for us. And we feel like we've got good efforts in place to do that, and Americans should feel assured that the President and his administration is doing everything we can to protect them on that front.
Yeah. I think it's the double standard for Kenyans that inawakasirisha. Wakenya wamejambaya sana juu ya the double standards. Kwa nini USA wanakataa waende nchi yao? Wanataka hao patients wako exposed kwa Ebola, they come to Kenya. Why? And yet there has never been an outbreak of Ebola in Kenya. If the US says this should be contained in East Africa, then let it be contained into the countries that were affected. The US has the budget, the US has the money, they have the resources. Let them find a place in Congo, an isolated place. Congo is a very big country. Let them find an isolated place in Congo. Wajenge hizo vitu zao hapo. Wajenge hiyo facility and everything. They have the resources, they have the manpower, they have the capability, they have the technology ya kujenga facility and we establish everything and they quarantine the people in Congo. If not, also Uganda, neighboring Congo. It's a very good place to contain the Ebola. Let them transfer the Ebola patients from... I'm not saying this to sacrifice the Ugandans. No, there has been numerous outbreaks of Ebola in Uganda also. Ebola is not a new thing in Uganda. There has never been an Ebola outbreak in Kenya. Ni sisi tutaenda kuichukua tuilete hadi Kenya. Purposely. Hiyo ndio inafanya Wakenya wanajaa ngori. Ni mbaya. VHK vunja hiyo kitu. Wakenya wamekataa. We have seen the protests in Laikipia. They have started protesting. Kenyans have hit the streets. They are saying no. They have pressured the president to speak. Nataka imagine the intensity na magnitude ya risk ya Ebola that even the US is not willing to accept them. This thing is very high risk. Hadi US wao wenyewe wamekataa. Wamesema kama ni kwa vyovyote vile hii hatuwezi kubali. Wakenya wajakuwa involved in this thing. They were not involved. Hapo ndio wamejam. There was no announcement. There's nothing Kenyans had in the parliament about the Ebola thing. They just had there is a facility in Laikipia and Ebola patients will be transported from Congo paka wapi, na hiyo ndio imefanya watu wamejaa ngori. Vunja hiyo kitu VHK. So Wakenya wana feel betrayed sana. Let me know your comments in the comment section. Like, subscribe and share. Follow me for more. VHK, vunja hiyo kitu.